Hello everyone, this is Infinum here today. We have another GAC matchup to go through. This one was a very interesting GAC matchup when it comes down to 2 million GP deficit, comes down to a huge mod deficit, and it comes down to a huge relic deficit. It's just absolutely nuts. The amount of extra, 2 times more 15 plus mods in speed wise. Twice the relic levels of what I own. It's just incredible. And we know we're absolutely in here for a treat, at least, or not, or just an absolute smacking. Maybe we'll find out which of the two it is. So mods wise, this is what you can see on some of these Galactic Legends. I don't know if there's anything really here that I can make more relevant than others. I think it all looks pretty similar. I don't know, 12k offense with this much speed is really nice. Where is the interesting part? There's actually something. No, is it in this matchup? No, it was the other matchup where it was really sinister, the same speeds that I had registered on a lot of the same characters. But here, there's nothing really that's out of the ordinary. This cast is actually built for a lot more offense than mine. Mine is just protection built. And yeah, so no, actually it was this matchup. Look at this. So this is the interesting part, right? My Piat speed exactly the same as his Gideon speed, same as mine. My DR speed just 2 more. It's like very similar speeds across the board. Very interesting. Also R9 Piat, R9 GK. So that's always a little bit, good to throw in some of the spanners and make things go wrong. So our opponent is Cobra Caught. And yeah, let's see what happens. So I guess I just click here a couple of times. We're going through the recording. We do the whole GAC live on GAC, so you can always check that out. I should probably do some community posts on that so you can check it out live. But anyway, so my bottom front wall, I had Lord Vader, GG Nuke, DR, and the BAM team, and they all got one shot, as you could expect from an opponent of this caliber. I don't particularly remember if I think I had like some banners registered, but the Vader team is good against SLKR. GG Nuke, saves you another Seps. Talon is in there to prevent Piat from working against DR, because I think my DR was faster than his Piat. Maybe not, actually maybe not, and maybe he's still Trooper, that, which might have been like, something that I could have prevented, or I could just accept troopers on DR and be okay with it, so you can't use troopers on something in the back. That is also a strategy that can be in mind. And then new Boba, I just saw no potential, and I just placed him under BAM and did nothing much more interesting with him. But you can actually do a couple more interesting things. I totally want to look over win rates and see what we can do for the next GAC week. By this time I have already played round 3, so we'll get there when we actually get there. Let's fast forward a little bit. This was my back wall. I had Rey CAT. I have R2 there for the extra offense. I have Zeris in there to try to heal up Rey a bit. Nasty and a dash team to make it a little bit more interesting, and then JTR with Hero Finn, very fast Hero Finn, makes it more interesting. I don't think it was too fast then. Ami Qui-Gon, leftover Hux team because I wasn't going to use them on offense. Mon Mothma Kyle, and leftover Nute Seps. Not anything too interesting here. In the back, we have the 2-shot on Exec and the 1-shot on Chimera, so, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. I love how my pace of speaking this was actually just the same as the one in the video. Alright, so we go over to the top wall, and he has Rey Bros JTR Cat. That is very anti-Sith Eternal. I think that's what he was going with. Traya with Talon. Talon fortunately had no Omicron. Full R7 Iden Versio, so that's, interesting. And then of course DR with a Relic 9 Sith Empire Trooper. Here I think I was just gonna show that she had no Omicron, but Relic 9 Sith Empire Trooper kind of just blocks the Imperial Trooper counter, and because you just don't go through him. So I kind of had to change my plans around, because I was like, oh yeah, I have the speeds to do this, but as R9 said, and I don't. So then he had the standard BAM team, he had GG Nuke, he had the Starkiller team, and he also had the double tank Darth Vader Maul team under Lord Vader. So we go straight into that one. We're gonna put our Wat Timbor in the 2nd spot, so it's easier to click on him. And then we've got Night Sisters. We're gonna put Zombie in 3rd, Doc in 4th, so just for a little bit of ease of targeting. And let's get right into this battle. So This is probably gonna get nerfed very soon. I feel like I'm gonna say this like pretty often from here onwards, but here we go. Tank Tech on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This way he can resist all of the debuff. He can cleanse all of the debuffs he has around, and then you just start stunning and when to start to stack that mastery up. Let's cleanse those dots. Let's put Med Pack first on Daka. Yeah, that needs to happen. You want Daka slow enough for SLKR to do his AoE before Daka goes, so Daka doesn't take all of that dot damage. And here we can see Maul just doing Maul things and starting to kill stuff, but we should be fine. And yeah, now it's just like a little bit of a contest of working on Siphon. Darth Vader can actually be a little bit menacing. You gotta take care of this guy as soon as you can, because he can just make you time out a little bit. He can also have like a very unfortunate Cuddling Blade on Daka, so you gotta be very careful with him. And sometimes you will misplay against Darth Vader because you always gotta play so fast in this battle, always pressing buttons, and you might miss an opportunity to hit Darth Vader whereas where you could. So, but that's just gonna happen eventually. You just know that you gotta smash buttons, you just gotta know the overall strategy. Tank Tech to Kylo, Med Pack to Doc, and then it's just siphon up, siphon up, siphon up, try to keep, like for example here, we could have hit Darth Vader because there's no tank, and you know, sure now taunts, and I'm like, well, crap, this sucks. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Then, you know, try to get as many cleanses as possible, so you ult as early as you can, and just try to keep AoEing as much as possible. Eventually you'll get a really nice crit on Darth Vader, and you will kill him. And you kind of go from there. Let's see. So first ult, boop, we got actually the crit and the kill on Darth Vader, is exactly as we're talking. Here I just go for the stun on Royal Guard, or I try. The idea is if they're stunned you get more mastery when you're doing your AoE with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, so Daka doing basics is actually pretty good. And then, well, unfortunately Watembor passed away there. What else can you do? Here I just try to heal. I think you know, watching this in hindsight, I really missed if Lord Vader had gotten just the end of his ultimate when he killed Watembor, or if I just didn't get the RNG revive. But you know, those dots, just look at that, right? Daka keeps stacking her max health because all of the zombie deaths, and those dots start doing some serious damage, and you gotta be really careful in dealing with that. So that is something that you always gotta keep in mind. But Kylo is ramping kind of at a really decent pace. Just keep AoEing on the stun targets and just go from there. Here I probably should have stunned Shore, but again, you want to play it so quick that you know, you might run into that problem of, you know, you could have done something better right after you click on the button because you always got to speed run it. But yeah, here I'm like, oh yeah, I believe Watembor can come back, but you know, gotta keep trying. Because otherwise getting the basics so you can keep the stuns up is good. And now we're onto Lord Vader on his own. So eventually you get a crit and you kill him, most likely. That's usually how this goes. Or you DPS the hell out of him. One of those is usually the case. I can't exactly remember how this one went, but let's see. Yeah, no what comes back. Big stab, no crit. You do have advantage, but Lord Vader has a lot of crit avoidance things and whatnot, and advantage is not like a guaranteed crit. Advantage is a percentage crit chance. So there you go, there's the crit. I'm pretty sure it's that at least. Also, I just noticed that I was like slouching a little bit. Okay, maybe no more slouching, right? We can get through the rest of this. All right, so GG Nuke, we're gonna use CLS. It's just an easy counter. I just want to get rid of this GG Nuke team without any hassle and dealing with it kind of correctly. You can straight up just shoot GG and kill him, but I don't trust that sometimes. So I'm just gonna go, you know what, I kill T3, GG does his AoE, you actually get some counters because you have some very tenacious Wookiees, and then we have CLS in normal stance, so that way it doesn't get any debuffs on him either because of his middle Zeta, the one that's not highly rated. And yeah, kind of just go from here. Collect your win, let's go, done, and that's just it. And here, I think I was a bit stressed out, but I eventually came to the conclusion that using JMK on Starkiller was probably my best bet, and that's exactly what we do. I did set Rey CAT in the back, so I knew I didn't have to use like JMK CAT on something very strong, or split CAT into a different team. I went into this battle with the mindset of I can do JMK KAM on something. And that's exactly what we're doing here, and we're using JMK KAM to go against Starkiller. So, you know, give damage immunity. We're gonna play this out a little bit, you know. I think I go for Starkiller here first because, you know, there's some revives from Visas and whatnot, but if you get a little bit of work done on Starkiller, you'll be fine. This is actually the first time I'm really seeing Starkiller in the works as in this team, like, you know, EP Mara. Hadn't really seen this foundation before. It's not like I don't know about it, it's just that my opponents either didn't have Starkiller or didn't set this particular team on defense, and especially with the 2 Omicrons as well, which I believe he had. The one on the second special, the one that AoE buffed the spells, and as well as the Omicron on his unique, of course, which is the mandatory one. So, you know, I was a little bit intrigued playing against this battle, learning a little bit. And nothing like Jedi Master Kenobi preventing turn meter gains from Palpatine and Mara Jade to really take this up to the next level. So here we're just gonna kill Starkiller and then move over to Visas, I believe. You know, I believe that if you kill Starkiller first, if he's revived, he probably doesn't come back with all of the stacks towards Unleashed, so that's also not a problem for us. I don't quite remember the name of the buff, but like the end of this battle looks pretty simple. Especially once you get rid of Starkiller, you also get rid of all of that stat padding from his unique, and it's just easy. So we take those 66 banners home, and we're actually not performing too badly here, banner-wise. But yeah, okay, so this BAM team is actually really nervous on which counter I wanted to use. I was really debating using Sith Eternal Emperor solo here, but eventually I decided to use Darth Vader lead with Sith Trio and Gideon. You can use Thrawn in here instead of Scion, but I used Thrawn on defense, so we go with Sith Trio, we go with Gideon, we go with Darth Vader, and there's a very specific strategy when you're doing this battle, and we'll go right through it right now. So, you need Gideon to outspeed Queel, and then you push back the turn meter on everyone. Very easy to have Gideon to outspeed Queel, and now we just go to Merciless. We do dots on Nest, I think, because Nest can counterattack, so you definitely don't want that. And now just throw the Culling Blade on Bam, just to weaken him up a little bit, just to prep him for the damage we're gonna do later. And there we go, just get all of those dots going, everything's good. Get the Armor Shred on IG, dispel all of the buffs. I think Nest counters here. I guess not, interesting. Anyway, isolate IG-11, increase cooldowns on everyone, and wanna work on Bam pretty much. I think here, what do I do? Do I basic on IG or do I basic on... Oh, okay, I try to go for ability block on Queel, I guess. But that's okay. Yeah, I didn't want to proc Bam's turns. Also, the cooldown increase from Nihilus is so nice there. Yeah, we got to deal with that Beskar Mando now, decreasing cooldowns on Nihilus. Here, I'm kind of debating if I threw the blade on Bam or not. I do. He dies from dots. Everything's working splendidly well. No problem there. By the way, this BAM was built with 3 protection primaries and an offense set at Relic KK. So this was an actually really legit tanky BAM. It's an interesting build for him. That's for sure. So basic on IG. I probably do dots on Nest because I will deal with her next turn with Nihilus because he has his Annihilate on cooldown, and everything's good here. Now the question is, can I get like the protection back on Vader and Scion? That'd be ideal. I don't know if I can do that, but that would be the way to get some extra banners out of this. Nihilus also missing out on a little bit. We'll see which banner count we get towards the end, but battle is fine, no problem there. What do I do here? Kind of curious. Yeah, remove turn meter allows Vader, while giving to go here. I kind of wanted Vader to go, and I wanted Scion to go. But 64. I think Gideon got his protection, some protection recovery there or something with the turn meter removal. Must have been, because their supports. Anyway, this is the back. I was really happy to not see a GL, and I can see Mon Mothma in the back. I've got Sith Eternal for that. I'm okay. Bo-Katan, I can deal with that somehow, some way, and Nute, well, I can just bad batch it. And those were actually some issues that I had in the top wall, is that I couldn't really use bad batch on any team. I couldn't use Troopers as well, because that Iden team goes before you do with Troopers. That Relic 9 set really stops that. I guess if I really wanted to use Troopers, I could use them on Traya, but I to use a different counter, so we will get there. Troopers were actually like, I didn't have a good spot to use them at all. I think he made a really legit good defense. But anyway, So here I'm just kind of assessing what do I do. What I have no I mean, just, you know, .gg harder. And yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I think this makes sense. We can just use our lead bounty hunters here against Traya. And that's exactly what we end up doing. So the idea is, well, Marauder will get a couple of turns because we have our mass assists. And Talon has all of that stat padding as well. But, you know, hopefully not a problem because we should have a lot of turn meter rolling. And once we annihilate... once we disintegrate Traya, it should be fine. But yeah, let's see how this battle goes. So, mass assist on Nihilus. I believe I go on Nihilus first to get a quick kill. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is what I did. Yep. And Marauder will be getting a couple of turns, but his damage output shouldn't be too dangerous here. This is immediately contract. Boom. And here I think... I think there's a legit argument to disintegrate Marauder. But I just went for Traya, and here I was like, yeah, Frenzy, bonus turn, Bop, and I don't know why I didn't go after Marauder. I should have just focused on Marauder instead of Scion, but I was like a little bit just trying to control both, I think, and I think that's not totally correct. Anyway, we can get ability blocks now with Boba Fett. There is no longer any Traya to cleanse that stuff, so they didn't do any kind of particular damage that I should be threatened by. We get rid of Talon because she just pops out of stealth, and you know, I'd like to get to Marauder now. That rocket was terrible, by the way, but it should be fine from here. Just trying to get some extra healing where I can stall out for another Grief heal or something. That'd be ideal. Even Grief's basic also heals, so. But yeah, try to get a couple of stuns on Marauder if possible. Not really. We got stuck on him a little bit, and here, yeah, okay, I disintegrate him, and I didn't know if I wanted to disintegrate at this point, because then I also realized that calling mass assist is actually bad for banners because of Traya. I realized that somewhere mid-battle, but yeah, I'm just trying to take a little bit longer on this battle, if I can, and Grief's basic is definitely going to carry this one home. Yeah, I had to basic there, basic from Grief. And, you know, there you go, 65. Somehow that happened, so I'm okay with that. Beautiful. Definitely should have stopped doing mass assists a bit earlier. Not that I was worried with Marauder, but yeah, I was worried with that. Okay, so Trey is out. What are we doing next? So I know that I can't use troopers on DR, so I kind of got to use gas. I know that this raid team can be a little bit, you know, it shouldn't be problematic for JML. And then there's Iden, which I'm still kind of nervous about. And I think here I'm just like, okay, I know I'm going to use Sith Eternal here, so I'm just going to go for Sith Eternal. I think that's pretty much it. I'm just like, do I have anything in this roster that I want to use here? I probably have, like, you know, Padme Bad Batch that can work, but it can time out. It's not ideal. And then I'm just like, okay, I gotta check speed. Yeah, 271, you're not gonna get away with anything cheap on this, so let's just do it. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure that's the thought process, so. All right. Easy Cecil on Mon Mothma. Let's see how this one goes. It's easy, so, you know, spoiler alert, I guess. Who do you want to link? So you want to link Kyle Katarn because of his damage output. He's the only one here that actually hits really hard. And Pao gets loads of turn meter. So you get rid of Pao, you get rid of Kyle Katarn. Sorry, you link both of those, and you'll be getting the most amount of ult charge on Sith Eternal. And you can actually see the amount of ult charge you already have, and you haven't taken your second turn yet. And then there's a couple of other great things. You can't really TMR Sith Eternal. You can't do many things to him, so he's just chilling. He's also very fast, so Carden is not particularly worrying with her TMR. Yeah, and you're just vibing here. Yeah, they do like a little bit of things. They do some health regen, and they get their buffs, and they attack you. They go through your protection, but you're like, whoop, and it doesn't matter. And now here we just link Cara Dune and we link Scout because they're the two characters that are still alive from this Mon Mothma team. Keep in mind that when you kill, you know, people with the big zap from Sith Eternal, you're also preventing them from being revived. So Mon Mothma can't bring those guys back, and that absolutely 100% works in your favor. So from here you're really fine. There's not much that they can do to tier Sith Eternal. We're probably forced to kill Cara Dune, and then we gotta go over to Scout and kill him as well, but, you know. Actually, wonder if you could stall this battle out a little bit, where you kind of let Sith Eternal Emperor stack some extra protection. I don't really think you can do that. but, you know, probably not. 68 is absolutely fine, though. I mean, to an extent, it's absolute overkill, too, because maybe you could be doing better things with your Sith Eternal, but that team is a huge problem to deal with, so... here I just use Bad Batch because I just know I'm gonna use these guys, and yeah, I think we actually have a pretty messy battle against this team. I used the foursome. No need for an extra fifth, I don't think. I'm just like, all right, let's get it. And I think I played this one completely wrong compared to the one we did in the round before. Because in the round before, I think the way I was commenting this battle was like, oh, hey, this actually went really smooth. And the way I played this one, you know, going after B2 was not ideal. The other one, I did it a bit better. I guess here we actually have Dooku giving out some stealth that I wasn't really accounting for back when I did that battle as well, so... anyway, not really sure what I do. I swap over Taco and I want to try to get B2 out of the way, and I don't get my defense up going because I have to pay taxes from Nute, and it's just not ideal. I just can't get any defense up. I just can't get any of that extra offense rolling, and that's pretty annoying. I don't enjoy that too much, but oh well, you know, we worked through the B2. Very thick, by the way. And yeah, here, you know, they're doing their thing. We're not particularly worried. Bad Batch is actually amazing against Separatists. The more buffs we get on our team. Oh yeah, here I use the Echo Assist. The Echo Assist cleanses, so that way we can avoid having that extortion spread around to the rest of the team by cleansing. Record, that was very intentional at the time. Because I do remember, I remember certain bits. This is really awkward as well for me when I'm just watching these battles back, and it's interesting because I'm kind of watching which mistakes I did, what can I do better, what I can't. But yeah, B2 dies there from the from that move, and now we kill Dooku. Yep, and everything seems to be kind of okay. Nute is definitely still a problem with all of the extortion going around, but now we have defense up, and going through the B1 should be a little bit less painful, yeah, as well as, you know, trying to control Nute gunnery. Here I can't ignore taunts, so just call Hunter. Yep. Nute revives, increases cooldowns on Wrecker, not a huge problem, just pay taxes on his next move. Hunter actually had to do that as well, which sucked, but yeah, now it's just a little bit of trying to get buffs as much as we can, because these enemies are all pretty close to being dead. So I'm just gonna try, okay, let's do a little bit of a heal here on Hunter, and now we're gonna try to get some AoE buffs, I think. Yeah, that's what I do with AoE there on Hunter, just trying to get that back. Just trying to get a little bit of buffs. Yeah, and then the tech AoE here absolutely gives enough buffs to, you know, more than enough to get us over the finish line. And that's a 66 as well. But that's a 66 we had to fight very hard for. But I'm okay with that. Definitely okay with that. And yeah, we move on. There's that Mando team. I'm really not worried about it. I know I can trooper it, and I know I'm not using troopers on the top wall, so it's like, you know, if I need something to clean up, I know I've got those guys available. So here, do I just go for the Rey battle? I don't know, really. I don't know if I just do that. Looks like I do. Okay. No, okay. I went for gas versus DR first. I think I just wanted to calculate how many Jedi I had, because my plan at this point was to use Bastily, then Iden Versio, and we'll see how well or not that plan goes. But anyway, gas on DR, so I really had to take this team because Relic 9 Sith Empire Trooper, and you can see how great of a Relic 9 this guy is in just a bit. Here I'm just going to try to get rid of Foresight on DR. I'm going to try to get rid of Foresight on BSF as well, just so gas can increase their cooldowns. And now I'm going to go for the Shred first on DR, just so I make sure that he gets cooldown increased even, and do the same to BSF. And I'll compare the tankiness of Set and the tankiness of Malik. Of course, you know, Malik gets countered by gas really easily. I mean, that's why gas came out, kind of. But we'll see how this battle goes. It's, you know, here, life drain, fear, buffs. We actually get a turn with Rex, which is nice. We get a turn with 5s, but he was feared, and that's why gas stood up. And look at how tanky that Sith Empire trooper is. It's absolutely insane. And Malik is down, and look at Set. He's still like, we just took like half his protection. It's nuts. Absolutely ridiculous how thick he is. And at that point, I was actually really happy I didn't take my troopers. The issue here is HK didn't get the stun on him, and that procs the sack, which is really sad. Actually, yeah, because he can't, you know, escape the stun anymore. There's no Darth Revan. Had we actually stunned with Echo, which he should, he has like 70% potency, that would have nailed us a couple more banners, which, you know, don't really prove decisive. Or do they? Gosh, this is weird, but we'll get there. But for ground, I definitely would have preferred to have those banners. We'll get there in a bit. Okay, so here I'm gonna use gem also. I think I'd take a while to decide which kind of way I want to do this. And then there's no data on Iden, or at least there's data now. If you're watching the video, there was no data back then. Do I just go for troopers? No, no, I'm just calculating. Okay, and I was just trying to assess, okay, what kind of comp can I do to deal with Iden, and what kind of comp can I do to deal with Rey? So go for Flux, get those ability blocks, and you know, we want to start killing shit. That's pretty much the goal here. You know, put some damage on Cat, put some damage on Hero Finn. Here I was like, oh crap, okay, we got damage immunity on everyone. At least I have the ability block on Rey. All right, so I'm just gonna start triggering damage immunity on everyone. Why should I not, right? and that's kind of what I start doing. I think I'm looking at turn meters as well when I'm coining. But yeah, you know, trigger all of the damage immunities on all of these people. Now they all take their turns, and that's pretty much what we're gonna do. They're no longer a problem. We definitely know that we're gonna do that. Yep, give turn meter. Yep, whirlwind, that's fine. That's okay. We'll go after Cat. Calling Hood is actually not a terrible move either. Getting some protection back. And I was actually kind of just happy to do that. And I was like, oh, hold on, he's not gonna get the kill there. So couldn't do Hoda. And now I actually don't know, do I just wait? I think I sit out on the ult. No, here I check if we gain any turn meter. And I was like, oh, okay, we don't get any turn meter. I think I can ult, right? I think that's my mindset. Or do I just basic? I was like, okay, maybe I was just like paranoid. I don't think you get any turn meter, but for some reason I sometimes feel like you do. But I'm probably wrong. Anyway. So just stall out a little bit. Basic, wait for Rey to do her thing. Vjoop, look at that first ult. That's the first damage that she's doing, so everything's okay here, under control. And yeah, we're hitting Rey, doing the thing that we should do. We be mindful that we haven't hit damage immunity on Rey yet, so we gotta start doing something to her real quick. Otherwise, this battle can get a little bit hairy because, you know, she heals back up here. And I think here I just start going for JTR. Yep. And we're calling Hoda. We're trying to do a little bit of banner management going on right now. And look at that ult charge, by the way. I think you can tell where this is going. But Whirlwind, and we have a full healthy Rey. And she's definitely going to get her ult turn next turn. And I'm like, I'm a little bit worried-ish. Try to get some turn meter with Flux. Basic, reduce cooldowns. Try to get some protection back on people. And we're not really close to killing Rey. Like, very healthy, very good offense. It was a very well modded Rey. You can go back over to like the beginning and you can see the mods that he had on her. Because we had it on the Hot Utils sheet. And just look at the ultimate, like, from Rey. It's disgusting. I mean, maybe we're waiting for this if you've played this battle before, but it was just like, I was so, oh, my banners. Oh, my banners. It was such a banner stealer. And yeah, that sucked a little bit. Yeah, and you went from like 62 banners, 63 banners to 54, just like that. And that's after the DR thing where we didn't get the stuns, so things are not lining up our way in terms of that RNG there. That was definitely not ideal. And now here we're going after Iden Versio. I decided to use... I was looking here at the Rebel things, and yeah, I kind of have, you know, Ezra and Old Ben. I only remembered that after I was in battle, but... I was thinking that Basilisk was going to be a bit better than JKR just for the extra survivability. Keep in mind I have no Jolie Bindo around here. Can't do any revives or anything like that. So I was a little bit worried with their damage output. I mean, these guys are full R7. Iden goes first, which is always a bit worrying. And look at how hard these guys hit. Literally one move from Iden verse and they already took out all of the 200% prod up from Old Ben. It's ridiculous. And then I do a massive, and then I do an AoE, and it's like, Jesus Christ, these guys also get all of these counterattacks. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I'm not doing any more AoEs this battle. Learning on the spot. Should you like know that stuff beforehand? Yeah, but are you used to seeing this team? Not really. So maybe I could have been a bit more cautious. But, you know, we'll be fine, right? We'll be fine. But but the counterattacks are really annoying that they have. And then I taunt here with Old Ben, and it's like, that's not a great idea. But getting stuns on Iden is good, just trying to control her because she's definitely, you know, the enabler in this team. If she's alive, she's doing her thing, that's not ideal. But yeah, okay, we get this down to 2 people. And I do an AoE again, I forget, yeah, can't do AoEs. And look at how thick this Stormtrooper is. So if you don't know, Iden's Kitsch will keep reviving unless we kill all of the Imperial Trooper allies or we prevent them from reviving, right? Something like that. And yeah, it's just like a little bit problematic because you know, look at that Stormtrooper, look at how thick he is, and then Iden comes in with a debuff cleanse and gives buffs and heals their protection, and it just feels like we gotta go through the Stormtrooper, and it takes so long. And I'm actually just gonna speed up a little bit. Let me go over here. So this is like 2 times speed now because, you know, going through Stormtrooper is an absolute chore, and you know, I don't want to sit us through all of this, right? But anyway, keep marking, keep doing our assists, and kind of hoping that Iden doesn't get that cleanse move anytime soon, and that's pretty much the name of the game right now. And just to get through the protection up here, hitting through his health pool is a little bit easier, not as troublesome, which is really nice as well. So we just keep going with the flow here. No cleanse, and I was just so thrilled to see no cleanses. Ability blocks on Iden, let's go. AoE, I was like, rethink or not? No, okay, this is fine. We got foresight, we're fine. And now we can finally go after Iden and finish her off. Actually got Savior there from JKR, but it doesn't matter. We gotta do a turn with Ezra anyway and get the stuns, and you know, that's Iden gone. Okay, I need to be quick now. Okay, good. Anyway, this gets us over to Fleet, and we actually missed what this Fleet is like, but he had Negotiator and the Exec. He actually didn't typically set Negotiator on defense. He said it like 4 times the previous season, so I was a bit surprised, and I was like, you know, not impressed. I definitely didn't want to fight that. But hey ho, here we are. And here I really try to go for the 1-shot with my love, because we definitely wanted to make some banners back, so we go with that. So we're gonna go for the special on Houndstooth. Whenever I felt like it, yeah. They kill Vulture off, which is not great RNG, and I'm like, not my favorite thing. Since they killed Vulture, they're gonna do their turns and, you know, cleanse all of the debuffs from Hyena. In case I didn't do the AoE, so I just did the AoE, and now we do another AoE just to get the Buzz Droids going. And to get our turn, we call Spy, and we're gonna nuke whoever the hell we see in front of us, and that's Xanadu, which is actually good RNG. We don't get Xanadu out, a couple of dodges here and there, but that's kind of alright. Xanadu is almost out though, which is good. Alright, so a lot of things happening, and I'm out of ships pretty much. No more Vultures, which is really bad. You ideally want to keep a couple more ships in battle. But yeah, I mean, you do what you can do, right? Here, can't hit anyone else. I'm actually kind of weirded out by those Buzz Droids, but yeah, just notice that thing. Razor Crest has 3 Buzz Droids, but they just happen to cleanse the debuff, so there is no way that Razor Crest still has the Buzz Droids. It's just glitched. And yeah, here we come in with Ebon Hawk, and we're just gonna try to work on Razor Crest as much as we can. And you know, this is getting to the point where we only have 2 ships. They have 4, they really got us outnumbered, we don't have any vulture droids, we don't have a lot of manipulation of turn meter from here. So it's like, I'm 1 turn away from the ultimate, I can just accept that I gotta go for a good cleanup, and that's where part of the art lies with the Malev counter, when, you know, things go wrong and you're not really having this go your way, is that you gotta understand when you already lost the battle. And like, for example, here going after the Razor Crest is kind of just a dream. I can't really just go through that Razor Crest. At least I believe that's the way I played it. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna try to just kill as much as I can. That dodge is hilarious, I mean, in hindsight at least, I guess. But you know, try to play it out, try to control Houndstooth. Maybe in hindsight, if I'm going for a better cleanup, I probably didn't need to be as worried about Slave 1 and should have killed Houndstooth, because I definitely had the time to do that. But anyway, that's a bit the way I chose to play, but at least I know that killing Razor Crest there would have been terrible, and that's why we didn't. Because if you're doing a cleanup, you go through like Razor Crest's Savior, then your cleanup needs to go through the Savior again, and that's just a whole other mess that you don't want to find yourself in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Game's over. Houndstooth is going to come back with full health and protection, and you know, that's a problem for our cleanup to deal with, but at least Razor Crest is very low on health. We also get rid of the mass assist, which is huge. Had we not gotten rid of that mass assist, we have to send in another team to get rid of those that pesky mass assist, but you know, we're good. Here I'm kind of debating who I want to use on cleanups, I guess, because I was looking into Finalizer Rebels. Yeah, and then I was also checking out on YouTube if I could do a Negotiator mirror against this TIE Bomber comp. So I was a bit worried with that. Yeah. Oh, and this is already the battle. Oh, crap. Alright, so I go for the Negotiator, and from here kind of try to decide what I wanted to do in regards to cleanups. But yeah, I've never seen it go this way before. So you do your AoE, all good. You get, well, I didn't get any protection up, I guess. Which is not ideal, and we have target lock on it too, because Umbaran will always do that. And from here I'm kind of just debating. Okay, I probably had the video playing on the side too, right, like on my right screen. So just basic TIE Bomber, and this is fine, yeah, they work on it too, that's exactly what happens on the video, but Bomber doing this AoE, followed by it doing the AoE is just a killer. Like, I knew JC was lost at this moment. That was just 100% guaranteed. In hindsight, it was lost before, but this just, you know, was the defining moment. We can't do anything else about it, it's just dead. So at this point, I'm just trying to, okay, I'm not gonna back out, I can't. If I back out, I really don't have a fleet to clear this up, so I'm just gonna try to set up some kind of weird-ass cleanup that I can figure out in a bit. And that's kind of the way this goes. I don't really know what I do between calling Plo. I think, yeah, Soka seems responsible, trying to get some damage in on these guys and trying to play it out a bit, I guess. So we burn through a bit of Negotiator cooldowns, and, you know, we try to play it out, and yeah. Offense up over to Ahsoka, reinforcement comes in, Plo, yeah, Plo also comes out now, gets a little bit of healing. You know, we did what we could, I guess, but it sucks. Definitely sucks to lose GC like that too. I should have seen that TIE Bomber would have that kind of impact. I was kind of expecting it, but I also didn't want to use Finalizer when I had the Negotiator to use, right? And I was like, well, you know, whatever. So I don't know, I think I used Finalizer to clean up Exec. Yeah, that's what I do, so let's go with it. Go through a little bit of that preload. Maybe you guys are interested in seeing that beginning, I guess. Let's see what they had. So Taunt from Houndstooth, Special from Boba. Alright, and we're good to go. So we get that ability block there on Houndstooth, which I didn't see how significant that is over giving advantage to Finalizer, but whatever. To Silencer, but whatever. Here I opt to do the AoE because it gets Slave 1 out rather than actually using the third ability, which is often used. And then we just have that exposed lying in there, and I'm like, yikes. So I'm actually just gonna do the big hit as a little bit of a means to heal back up. And yeah, we'll keep hitting back on Houndstooth and trying to call Silencer as much as possible. Not as in for its damage, which, you know, absolutely we want it, but for the heal. And now we call him Consular. We're gonna give the assist over to Silencer, just trying to heal it back up as much as we possibly can. Here I'm looking that I have Breach still, and I'm just debating if it's better, which way I want to give advantage to as well. So third was better. Big bop on Houndstooth, not there yet. We'll wait a bit longer. And yeah, here just like, oh, recover protection. Yeah, probably, why not? And that's the mindset I was on. Why not? Let's just go for it and keep Silencer alive. Let it do its thing. If you can get some target lock on Houndstooth, that'd be great. But you can see, right, that on that cleanup, I could have chosen to probably get rid of Houndstooth. Maybe I would have been close to it. Maybe I wouldn't, and then that would suck. But had we actually gotten rid of Houndstooth, it would make this Finalizer cleanup a lot easier. But anyway, here I'm just like, do I call Sarge? Do I do basic? Do I do ult? I call Sarge in this scenario. Good old dodge. Get rid of Houndstooth, which is nice. And yeah, just work through Razor Crest. Big bop. He's not stunned, so get rid of him. I mean, I guess there was a 17% evasion rate, 15% from evasion up, and plus 2% from weird random things, but yeah. And now just basic on Silencer finishes this off, I believe. Yeah, there you go. So that's the cleanup on Exec. I can tell you that I wasn't too happy just speedrunning through things. I just clicked like twice, speed up on 20 seconds. Oh, okay, here okay. We go back to ground and we're gonna do troopers on this. Should be an easy, quick battle, and I was like, Actually, I learned a couple of things about this team too, which I didn't know. And had I known, I wouldn't have gone for Candyman first. I would have gone for ISC, because ISC has counterattack. I didn't check that out afterwards, but I'm pretty sure it's him that has a counterattack. Yeah, it is. And that's a little bit annoying because it steals banners, and I get the death mark on him now. But, you know, yeah, my banners rip my Death Trooper banners, and that's a 64. Yeah, could have been a bit better, even in that department. So that definitely cost us banners, and I knew that I wasn't going for a win anyway. And let's just try out some Rebels and see how this goes. Of course, Bomber has AoE on cooldown, but, you know, we kind of just gotta fight through it. What else can we do, right? So work through Bomber, all of that good stuff. Let's see how this goes. So just basic, no point using the special if there's no target lock from them. And now we mass assist on TIE Bomber. Yep, everything's good. Special on TIE Bomber, get rid of that taunt. Put shield disruption out as well, it's not too bad. And I'm just trying to get some assists, see if we can get some cooperation. And yeah, TIE Bomber needs to go out first when you're using Rebels, and Plo Koon just comes out first again, which is lovely. But yeah, call Cassian, let's keep going at it. We just gotta give everything we've got against this TIE Bomber, pretty much, because if that doesn't happen, we're screwed. That just needs to happen. I don't care about Ada 2. If that TIE Bomber stays around, we're 100% screwed. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do here. It's just, you know, get a couple of assists from the Falcon and see if we can go through them. Just trying to get a couple more turns, a couple more turn meter management, and there we go. Bomber's out. From here, I can kind of believe in it. Let's just try to kill Ada 2 as well, and from there, we should be fine. We know that they don't have an ending loyalty on cooldown. They did burn it, and here you go. A little basic. Let's heal up Biggs, and we're gonna go after Ada 2 now. Yep. Dispel the buffs. We actually got a couple of assists there because Falcon decided to assist. Falcon didn't decide to assist. And that's pretty much it. Okay, got the AoE and keep working on these guys. That's the name of the game right now. Soka comes out, dispels both tanks. That's fine, not a huge problem. Do I call reinforcement or do I do mass? I call Phantom. Okay, sure. And am I more worried with... Yeah, that was not intelligent from my end. Yeah, let's put the debuff on Ahsoka just so she can get retribution to the team. Big brain. Big brain. But yeah, so we go through the 5s now. But yeah, like at this point the battle didn't really matter. The GAC was lost. But it's good to learn for it, you know, next few times so I don't repeat the same silly mistake. Especially in hindsight, because maybe I do that. I sometimes I keep that in mind, sometimes you just don't. And it really depends on how much you're carrying at this point. I know I lost JC by now. Not particularly playing my best after that. It's just, you know, a little bit on tilt. Let's finish this. Let's get the full clear, whatever. I don't know if I should have actually just given up. Oh, by the way, that's a good trick. Let's just go back a little bit. If the game kind of just stops in fleet like this, where it's not doing anything, if you click on one of their ships, usually the game comes back because they're just hovering around, and then you're good again. That's actually a neat trick to learn. And yeah, do things, and you know, finish this off, get rid of JC, and think about the next round. Gonna be a bit disappointed with the way I lost. I think that Rey battle maybe could have done it a little bit better had I not worried with JTR at all and just started dumping damage over to Rey. The gas battle, we could have definitely got a couple more banners out of that. And you know, if we actually one-shot the Negotiator with, I don't know, Finalizer, we'd be on it. Or if you one-shot with Malev, but that wasn't gonna happen at all. That could have been, you know, a couple of the solutions that would have happened to, you know, do this GC in a bit of a better way, I guess. So, you know, that was fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Timestamps are down below as well, so you can navigate through whichever portion of the video you found most interesting. If you watched all of this, really thank you, because Jesus Christ, it's a lot of GAC to watch. So whatever gets you to watch like 40 minutes worth of GAC, I hope you had like a good meal or something. And yeah, hope you guys have the rest of a good day. And see you in the next video. We actually have another opponent from KAS, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so peace out. Have a good one. Bye.